There's a jockey change for number 5, Greed, Andrew Smith, who claims £7. Rides, number 8 is the A-Train and Bendahar, 9 Acclaim, John White, 13 Credit Cut, Simon Sherwood, 17 Film Consultant, Stuart Shilston, and number 18, Fred the Tread, ridden by Ned Buckley, who claims 4. 24 is Max Reef, Graham McCourt. 27 is Noble Air, ridden by Ted Waite. 28 Perfect Approach, Peter Scudamore. 29 Priam Lodge, Roger Rowell. 32 Some Spare, Chris Jones. 33 the favourite, Special Vintage, Mark Dwyer, running in a green jacket with white spots. 35 Steady Eddie, Dermot Brown. 37 Very Special, Kevin Townsend claims a 7. 40 Electropet, Steve Knight. 43 Balanced Realm, Simon McNeil. 44 Matelot Royale, Wayne O'Callaghan claims 7, and number 45 Ranley, ridden by Brendan Powell, completing then an 18-runner lineup for this FB Air Services hurdle, for which the trip is 2 miles.
1 from 4s. The A-Train after 7 to 1 from 5 to 1, and Credit Cut also a 7 to 1 chance. Very Special in 4 points from 12 to 1, 8 to 1 from 12s, and Perfect Approach a 10 to 1 chance, 20's bar.
And they're under orders, and Very Special getting a bit warm down at the start. Keen to get on with proceedings, and away they go, with Very Special leading at quite a sedate pace. The favourite in the middle of the picture, the horse with the noseband, that's Special Vintage, but it's Very Special in the lead as they come down towards the first of the 8 flights of hurdles, and Very Special jumps it safely in the lead, and they're all over the first. Special Vintage second, Matelot Royale in the black jacket in the centre of the picture up with the post 2, and also showing prominently is Greed in the half jacket of royal blue and grey. So they come down towards the second, and now Matelot Royale and Greed have joined Very Special for the lead. They're all over the second. At the rear of the field, Credit Cut is last. So they pass the post with the circuit to go. Next to the rails, Very Special in the lead from Greed and Matelot Royale, then running a bit wide, Perfect Approach in 4, with Special Vintage in 5, and then the A-Train 6, followed then by Credit Cut in 7th place, and the one that is in fact last is Acclaim, with now Steady Eddie steadied to last place. So they race away towards the third. Very Special the leader from Greed, and then comes Matelot Royale, Ranelagh, Credit Cut handy, Special Vintage just behind them, then the A-Train, followed by Max Reef, racing very wide indeed is Perfect Approach, and that's a horse with a noseband on the extreme right of the picture as they come down towards the third. And it's Very Special on the left, jumps it with Greed, who doesn't jump it at all well, but safely enough. Then on the very wide outside is Perfect Approach, just in behind these Matelot Royale and Special Vintage, followed by Credit Cut at the fourth, and Very Special led there, and the leading group safely over, and indeed they're all safely over the first. Steady Eddie is the back marker and tailing off as they swing right-handed, and at the halfway stage in this 2-mile hurdle race, and it's Very Special by 5 lengths to Greed, by a length to Matelot Royale, by a neck to Special Vintage, and then up on the outside, Perfect Approach. The A-Train tracks these. Then comes Credit Cut, Ranelagh mid-division, and also mid-division is Fred the Tread, Some Spare mid-division too, that's a pale jacket. And so Special Vintage 11 to 8 shot, the A-Train at 6 to 1, Max Reef at 13 to 2, and Credit Cut at 7 to 1, with the starting prices 8 to 1 bar these. But up front, the leaders, it's still Very Special in the lead from Special Vintage in second, then the A-Train and Credit Cut jumping well, goes through into third. Greed up with the pace early now, finds the pace too hot and drops back. Then Ranelagh, who improves, and behind these comes Max Reef, who's starting a charge, and it's Very Special by 4 lengths to Special Vintage, by 3 lengths to Credit Cut and the A-Train. Then comes Ranelagh and Max Reef still improving. Behind these comes Perfect Approach, who's given up running wide. Very Special skipped over that. Special Vintage a slight mistake in second, the A-Train third, and here the soft ground could tell on the favourite, Special Vintage, who's being chased along to keep in contention with Very Special, who leads as they swing out of the back straight. Just 2 flights of hurdles to go, and the race really concerning the front 2 at this stage. It's Very Special by 3 lengths to Special Vintage, by 10 lengths to the A-Train and Credit Cut, and Max Reef, who's creeping ever closer. That's the race for third place, but as they turn for home, has Very Special shot his bolt. Here comes the favourite, Special Vintage, up on the outside. They're in line for home now. They've got 2 flights of hurdles to jump next to the rails. Very Special on the very wide outside, Special Vintage Both jockeys relatively hard at work. Very Special going the better at this stage as they come down towards the second last. Very Special and Special Vintage as they come down to it. Little to choose between the two. It's Very Special who crumbles on landing, but the jockey does spectacularly well to recover. However, this has left the advantage with Special Vintage. Special Vintage in the lead from Very Special, who's getting back on terms as they come down towards the last. It's Special Vintage and Very Special. It's going to be a special finish to this one, coming down to the final flight. Special Vintage on the right, Very Special on the left. How do they jump in? They jump in together. Very Special shows a better turn of foot, but his head is a bit high. And it's Special Vintage on the near side, way back in third place and finishing like a train is running up. But it's Very Special who fights to the line. Special Vintage can find no more, but he plugs on. And Special Vintage gets up. Close home, Very Special on the far side. They're very tired horses. Very Special just from Special Vintage. Runner in third, Credit Cut 4. A gap then to Max Reef in 5. The A-Train finished 6. Finishing in 7th and running through beaten horses in Noble Air. And after that one came Matador Royale. A gap then to Electropret, Fred the Thread, Some Spare, then Acclaim, followed by Perfect Approach. Greed beat one, and that one was Steady Eddie. As looking back, I can tell you that Film Consultant was pulled up, and Priam Lodge was pulled up, and also way down the pitch, Balanced Realm pulled up. So the result of this FB Air Service, it's a win in desperate fashion for number 37, Very Special, owned by Mrs. E.G. Lambton, trained at Newmarket by Bill Holden, and ridden by Kevin Townend.
And third, number 45, Ranelagh at 50 to 1. The Utopia returns win £12 exactly. Places £2.90, £1 10 pence, and £11 10 pence. The dual forecast paid £6 and 70 pence. Non-runners numbers 2, 21, 26 and 38 and 18 rand.